Hi, welcome back to Library Nocturne. I'm your host, Black Fairy, and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you'll stay a while. Check out everything that I'm doing in the library, okay? Today I really want to talk about some of the anime right now that are new, that are currently airing or just finished airing. They're from this season, and they're just some that I enjoy, honestly. They're just some I just want to talk about, honestly. It's really just that. Like, I am very excited about them because they feel really new and really different. Like, there's a lot of seinen, more slice of life coming out, just things about different topics, and a chance to see adults. Y'all remember adults in anime? Adult women in anime, okay, that look like, act like, talk like, walk like, are grown women. You know what I mean? And I just felt really excited about the new different types, and I want to talk about a couple. Starting with my favorite right now, actually, which is Marriage Toxin. Any Marriage Toxin fans out there? Okay. Hopefully there are, because I love it. I think it's just so different. Just the blending of, I guess you could call it like supernatural or fantasy elements with something really slice of life and seinen as like matchmaking. So the whole plot of the show basically in Japan, I guess it's like modern day AU, where there is an assassin, Ghetto, who is the head of the Poison Clan, which there are all these clans and they have their specialties and how they assassinate, and bugs and music and animals. It's like really deep, right? But he's the head of the Poison Clan, one of the five great families. You know, they love of that. But basically, to ensure that the clan continues on, of course, right, they want like someone to get married, they need heirs. And so he has to try to find a wife, basically. And that seems really like a basic kind of premise in a way, but the whole thing is it's like he's the head of a poison clan. You know what I mean? He's not like a normal guy. He's really awkward, he's really shy. He has no idea how to talk to women, but almost, I would say women, mostly like women. And, you know, he has to do it. He has to get married to ensure that his clan goes on. Otherwise, it would be forced to be his sister, who is a lesbian. She already has a girlfriend, and, you know, he just doesn't want that for her. And even just pause right there. I just feel like I've never even heard a premise like that. You know what I mean? Where, yeah, it's all this other big scary stuff, supernatural, whatever, but really the emotional like thrust of the story is him trying to get married and him trying to get comfortable just like being friends, having friends and socializing, especially with women. So while he's doing his first job, he actually runs into a criminal who he's actually being paid to assassinate. And she is called the marriage swindler. Her name is May. Love May. She's a marriage swindler. It's like a black widow, right? She gets with someone, she scopes them out, she gets with them. They have money, she's gonna take it. She might take their life. We don't know. But she's really in it for, you know, trying to level up, basically. And so while he's in the process of this mission of killing her, he actually has a change of heart because she is like really good with relationships, obviously. Like, she's done this marriage swindling. That's why she's about to be assassinated, actually. So he offers her like, okay, be my marriage advisor and we could walk out of here and I won't even kill you. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. But he doesn't, and they do. They walk out of there and she becomes his marriage advisor. And the thing about May that I really loved was that it was noted really early on that May is actually a drag queen, basically. Like, maybe just like daytime drags. Like that is how she's going out as the marriage swindler May. You know what I'm saying? And they said drag queen. So I don't know if there's other connotations or other words that they use, but I still thought that was interesting because I can't say I've seen that in an anime where it's actually even portrayed seriously. Like that is not like a joke. That's not a haha. There's no jokes at her expense. Like she's just a cutie girl. She's a baddie actually, and so she's gonna help him. And like I said, also his sister is gay, so already it really had me in the first episode because I was like, well, this is a lot of pride going on in what could otherwise seem like just a regular, I would say shonen, but it's not shonen because it's not young boys, but you know what I'm saying? Just a more typical male centered anime because it is about ghetto. But to me, a lot of the other characters like that are immediately by his side are women, which I'm loving. They're all cutie girls. They're amazing. So I just really love it. It's actually finished now, but I'm like, if you're looking for something cute that has a little action, but it's a little comedy, but it's a little slice of life. There's friendship, relationships, especially in the like, I don't want to say middle age, but definitely like late 20s to early to mid 30s, maybe even 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like it was a really refreshing take on these ages, honestly, and just a perspective and just a plot I never heard of. It was really fun. Like, I think what is nice about it that even though it is an anime about assassins and some people die naturally, but I think it's kept really respectful in a way. It's not too like gratuitous with just like the violence and like trying to tear someone apart and all that per se. Um I will say though, the body horror got to stop for me, baby. Like body horror right now, I don't know what's everyone's fascination, but please get over it. I'm not begging, I'm demanding at this point because it'll be so much cutie stuff I'll watch, and then now all of a sudden it's crazy this, it's crazy that. Like, I'm just not understanding how we got here. Like, okay, freedom of broadcast is cool and all, but I don't want to see all this craziness. Now, you can't use that freedom to show me craziness. And, this particular story is not lacking in diversity in that particular way, but as a whole, media to me has used the freedom to push the envelope in ways that it's only been one sided. So that did feel like they drug it for me, honestly, getting towards the end, but it didn't take away from the overall story. And that character is like the villain. They're obviously like ridiculous, honestly. Like, okay, so I would definitely say get into Marriage Toxin if you're just looking for something, really cutie to start with and to just get into, honestly. Because speaking of cutie, seinen, slice of life drama, I also started watching an anime called Drops of God. Right, great. The title really drew me in because it's like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? And it's about wine. So if you're a person who really loves wine, or you're a sommelier, or aspiring, or you're just a foodie, I definitely feel like Drops of God would be one that would whet your appetite, honestly. Like, it is about these two gentlemen who are the sons of a like world renowned wine collector, sommelier guy. And he passes away. He gives them this challenge. You have to guess what these 12 wines are based on the descriptions and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I really like it because, in a way, it is sort of like a mystery, because then we go on the journey with each of these characters trying to figure out what this wine is, and they go through their memories and different experiences, and they meet people from their past, and they make new friends, and they help people see the virtues of wine and to really understand wine as a very complex creation. Honestly, it's probably one of the most thoughtful, thorough productions, period, honestly, that I've ever seen about wine. And it's an anime. Like, they're talking about the years and the premiere and all this other stuff. Like, it let me know how deep the world of wine tasting, wine making, and sommelier can go. I haven't finished it, but I really do enjoy it. I think it's more of a slower pace because there's no action. Now, if you want something, no action, no shooting, Drops of God got you. Because I will say, the shooting lately in movies, in anything, you turn on something and you think you're about to chill, and now they lighten the spot up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just in my house. I'm just in my bed. Why all the rat tat tat? Like, this crazy. So I do appreciate Drops of God for being just a really adult centered, like, character exploration driven by this, like, actual sensual experience and this challenge, honestly, because it does challenge their senses and their ability to reason and their ability to feel, in the vibrations of life. It just gets really deep, you know what I'm saying? It's really contemplative, and I enjoy that about it. So I think if you are looking for something that is a little more mellow, but it's for adults. I don't know if this one will have a romantic angle. It kind of does. But I don't know how prevalent it will be. It really is about the wine and about this competition. So, there's two right there that I think have just really captured my attention, and I was really surprised by, because it did feel like we were getting to a point of, like, are there ever going to be adults on TV and anime, specifically on TV, but in anime also? I won't even say specifically. I'll just say also. I think these and a lot of other ones that I have had on notice, like smoking a cigarette behind the supermarket, like, that one is obviously adults and is slice of life, but it is a real dramatic portrayal of people who are working corporate jobs and, maybe who are caught up in the machine, and those little moments of reprieve and connection that an act like smoking behind the supermarket can offer someone, and the memories and just the perspective shifts. Like, I'm just really appreciating all of this introspective, really character forward anime right now. Like, an adult centered, I have my favorites from when I was younger and everything, but now I'm in a different stage of life, and it's really nice to see people thinking about these across different media, honestly, because it did feel like for a while across a lot of media, the late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s, like, that whole gap right there felt like there was a lot of just perspectives missing, honestly. Like, trying to find something to watch that was not like high schoolers, forget about it. Like, for so long I feel like it was about high schoolers. But now that the euphoria age is over, perhaps we have been released from his grip, so I'm not complaining about that. An older anime that I want to talk about is Oishimbo, which to me it really reminds me of like Food Wars. Like to me, whoever created Food Wars has definitely seen Oishimbo. It is an vintage anime. It's from the 80s, I think 1989. Really right on that precipice right there where, styles started changing for a lot of different media and art and culture at the time, as it is always doing. But it has that beautiful, vintage classic anime style. And it's also about adults. It is about people who work at a newspaper who write food and culture sections of the paper, and their quest to create like an ultimate menu essentially. And so the challenge is to pull from different parts of the world, different styles, different techniques, all these sorts of things. And each episode is basically featured on the protagonist. I can't even think of his name right now. But he is the protagonist, and each episode somehow turns into a challenge that either helping someone or that he's just doing on his own, whether it's trying to prove to his father that he knows somebody who can make some fire tempura, or getting people to try this fish with this different condiment, to get into a different flavor profile, or he goes to a stall and the man noodles bad and he finna help him fix the broth. Like, it's all these different scenarios and they're all about food. You can tell I'm a foodie. I love food. I love the sensuality and just the total experience of eating good food and experiencing good food. I just, it's just one of the pleasures of life. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that. I just really enjoyed that. And, he's on a quest in a way, still, maybe like the shonen way, of trying to prove to his dad that he knows what he's talking about, that he knows what he's doing, that he knows food, he knows flavors. And I think, maybe it's just something we can all relate to. You know what I'm saying? Just really claiming your spot as an adult and claiming your place in this world as a person, especially in your field of interest or whatever you're interested in. Like, just accepting that you know something and that you can stand on that. And I mean, of course, wanting recognition. A lot of people, we want recognition from our parents, and it just was like a relatable story. I mean, I just, the relatable stories, and you can make them fantastic, but it's always nice to have that nugget of like humanity and like relatability in there, because I think it makes for just so much more impact, so much more emotional impact when it is grounded in something. So another anime I want to talk about is that Bleach, the final part of the Thousand Year Blood War, released its first episode over the weekend. And I actually had a chance to catch the movie that was showing in select theaters at the beginning of, no, it wasn't at the beginning of anything. It was at the end of June, actually, that they were showing in theaters. So I had a chance to go with my bestie and watch it was the first 3 episodes, actually, of this particular part of the story. And it was really cool to get to see Bleach on a big screen. First of all, seeing anime on a big screen is an experience that I need a lot more of. I would love if that anime movie culture really took off here, because I think that there's a lot of gems. I just want animated movies in general to just have more respect, because to me, so much more stuff gets off way better in animated medium. and anime is no exception. And just seeing those colors and being surrounded, by others who are interested in it, and the emotion, and just everything about the production is just, it's an experience, that crowd effervescence effect. I really loved it. Now I will say, because they did an interview with Tite Kubo and the guys who are like drawing it now for the actual show, the fan service on Yoruichi is criminal. Okay, it's criminal. Like, it's criminal. Like, it's bad. Yoruichi, to me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people out there, she was so impactful because she was a very capable, in charge, down to earth woman, like, and I guess, she was a Shinigami, but a woman. Shinigami. And one thing that I really loved about her, especially in the beginning, was that she was able to be sexy and alluring and appealing while never losing her combat readiness, while never losing what made her the head of the Shihoin clan, what, the Flash Master. Like, you never were able to forget that you were dealing with a master whenever you saw Yoroichi on the screen. And I feel like the design that they have done for her in this particular part of the story is just doing a major, 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 major disservice to her character. And to me, to all the people who like love her, you know what I'm saying? And who are looking for some faithful representation of a much beloved character. I know fan service has been much talked about in the anime community, and there's a lot of pushback. I think we need more, even more pushback, because to me, I'm like, how do we get to Yoroichi now and she face down, cheeks up? Like, when did she ever need to be that when she wasn't being the cat? Actually, just a cat. Like, I think the total, I can't even just say over sexualization, because to me, she was never sexualized to begin with. So to see that that is how her depiction has, continued on and has developed into, is really disappointing, because she just matters for a lot of girls, and that representation, which I'm not even like representation solves everything. I'm not even like representation solves everything, but it does matter, these changes and the images that are put out there, and that honestly seeing some of the responses to, like, being in that theater full of other, honestly, black people, but mostly black men, laughing at like her overt sexualization, it made me really sad. Like, it made me feel really sad about one of my favorite characters from this show, one of the most just capable, like, if you gonna respect anybody, you gotta respect Yoruichi Shihomi, like, period. And I just felt like it took that away, like her dignity almost. It felt really indignifying, honestly, that it was so funny to these men. I'm like, girl, what's funny? It wasn't even like a joke happened. Like, it was just her cheeks bouncing, so now it's laughter. Like, crazy. Crazy. The fan service is already crazy, but then being played for comedic effect is like beyond me. So that's something I will say that definitely, as the Bleach story is closing, it has been on my mind. Like, of course, stories change and they evolve, whatever progress. But I do feel like, I know this is the big finale. So, like, people die. It's gruesome. I mean, it gagged me because I wasn't familiar with this particular arc beyond the anime premiering a few years ago. So that was my first time even encountering this particular storyline and arc. So a lot of the violence and just the gratuitous fight, like not the fighting itself, but like just the violence, like the things that are actually being done and shown really like blew my mind because Bleach has had deaths and it's even had some, like some violence, some real violence. But this was just like on another level. So I think it is very much just that recognizing that evolution and that cycle completing and this chapter closing. It's just really got me feeling very emotional about it. Like I remember when Bleach aired in 2000, what, 5, 6, you know what I'm saying? And being up late night and Adult Swim and just the whole thing, and it was just so magical. So it has a very nostalgic feeling attached to it. So let me know if you feel the same about it because a lot of people were at these premieres. They actually added some extra dates because of how many people actually showed up, and people came in their cosplays, and it was amazing. So yeah, let me know what you think about Thousand Year Blood War arc. If you've seen it, if you've read it, have you watched it? Like, what do you think? Because also, side note, I want to say that I don't know if I've ever seen Tite Kubo before, the creator of the Bleach manga. And it surprised me so much to see that he was like drip down, y'all. Like, I did not, like, I had to like adjust my eyes, like, oh my God, like, just his fit was crisp, his hair, he had the undercut, his fresh jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just looked like fresh to death, for real. Like, it just gagged me, like, they talk about to me like the mangaka culture, and a lot of times they have chronic health problems and they get pretty worn down pretty quick from the process of creating manga. But you couldn't tell he went through none of that, honestly, with the way he was looking when he was on, they were having their little after movie chat about the decisions and things. And I was like, wow, okay, well, and this is why Bleach gives what it gives. The character design to me is like second to none in a lot of respects for most characters. But yeah, that was my weekly wrap up of anime. Please let me know what you thought of them. If you watched them, let me know what you think. Have you heard of them? What are some anime that you're looking forward to watching or that you have been watching, especially new? I feel like right now there is just such almost like an explosion of new anime and just new media. And it just makes me really excited to feel like maybe change is coming and we're just going to have bigger, actually more varied ecosystems in media, maybe for the first time. So yes, thank you for joining me today. My name is Black Fairy, and this has been another installment of Library Nocturne. I do hope that you will join me again, and I hope you take care out there. Ciao, Ela.